come draw with me. My name is Sasha, I use they them pronouns, and my brother's cat and my cat are looking at me like I'm fucking insane. So, nothing new here. I'm 2 evolutions away from finishing a task list of evolved Pokemon 300 times. So, I have Pokefarm open up yet again. So you can see this video that I have right here is 16 minutes and 48 seconds because let me just start the video. So this is an OC of mine who can be simultaneously either the most difficult or the most simple character. He'll be the most difficult character when I'm doing like full makeup, So I wanted to do something a bit more complex. I wanted to do full shading, just a full huge thing. And I'm just doing a quick little basic sketch here to really figure out where I wanted to place everything. Because I always struggle the most with the arm placements, Anyway, I decided to go for a puppeting look, because as you can tell, he is a puppet. He is called Mad Tyrone, and I love him. He is a trans man, and he is part of a universe where spontaneously lifelike objects will become alive. And if I were to put his story in a visual novel, it would basically have themes of stuff like, what is it called? Rainbow Corporation, right? During Pride, where corporations pretend to support us, to support queer people, trans people, all that, because they think they can get money out of us. And sadly, this does work a lot of the time, and I hate that. On one hand, it's great that, supporting people and not trying to throw us in jail cells for existing is great, that it shows it makes people money. But on the other hand, there's just something so empty about that. Just something so false about it, especially with how you have to be so performative. I mean, honestly, I want what most would consider a quote-unquote normal relationship, and even then, I will still be shunned just by the type of person I like. So it's really interesting to see how people are forced to perform. Trans men are simultaneously forced to perform as somehow feminine, just feminine enough, but not too feminine. It's like a balancing act. You can't be too masculine, you can't be too feminine, any of that. Or you're pushed to either be extremely feminine or pushed to be extremely hypermasculine to the point where if you're not breathing toxic masculinity, you're not seen enough as a man. And God, don't even get me started on the double standards trans women have to go through. Holy shit. You have to be just masculine enough to know for everyone to know you're a trans woman, but you have to be super hyper feminine too to prove that you're not a man, right? So it's just a huge mess, and I'm not even gonna touch non-binary people, which I am non-binary. Just the whole performative, you have to be thin, white, skinny, and thin, white, and perfectly androgynous, but actually masculine light. Or actually, no, not even that, just perfectly androgynous in the right way, or else you're just not seen as real. And there are even other trans people who will argue that non-binary people don't exist, and it's just like a huge fucking mess. But yeah, this story basically would focus on a trans man being forced to perform in femininity. Just because a lot of trans men are forced to perform in femininity. I know a friend of mine absolutely was pressured to continue liking dresses and skirts and all that when it really wasn't for him. God, not to mention the chasers. Yeah, that's mainly what his story would be about. But Mad Tyrone's story, in my head at least, ends on a very happy note because you can escape. At least that's my own personal opinion. Yeah, it will be very, again, heavy themes of exploitation, performative acceptance, stuff like that. I still need to write down the full story, but I'm actually planning on I need to get down how to draw backgrounds because I want to make a little mini escape room VN just because I think it'd be fun, you know? Anyway. So I'll probably do like a bonus VN real quick of like, you go into a shop and you buy potions, right? But they're like discount potions. So it changes the environment you're in, just so I can get like really locked into environments and music making, because I am bad at music making. Why do I insist on making all my own music, despite only being a singer and not knowing how to make music? Because I like to torture myself. Yeah, as you can see, I lined everything out, and I'm just going back and coloring things in. I will do Mad Tyrone's makeup in just a second. It's really a mixture of keeping the makeup locked onto one layer just for ease. And, you know, some of it having to be layered on just because I use so many layers. And goodness, I don't even know how many layers I used in Mad Tyrone's. But yeah, and I'm being careful not to go too outside the lines I preset, because yes, I can still undo it, but honestly, it's a lot easier in my opinion to add lines of depth than to subtract them. And if I trail off, it's because my fucking left leg is hurting for no reason. I ran. That's it. That's all I did. I am 19 turning 20. Why is my body breaking down like I'm 25? Anyway. So, you know, I'm just coloring in all that. And you'll typically see, especially when I do like a lot of mass drawings all at once, as I'm getting back into doing, I typically only do minimal shading. Like if you send in requests, you'll see I will do minimal shading unless I really vibe with it, but sometimes I really do crave just doing something that puts in a lot of effort, that does the pretty shading I like, because I like the way I shade. I think it's really cool. Is it the best? Hell no. It is not the best. It is very, very sucky. But it makes me happy, and you know what? That's all I can ask for. Yeah, I'm just, adding facial features, and as you saw briefly with the neck, instead of my usual carefully measured out, line of shading, you just saw me just lazily slap it on there. And that's what I'll do a lot with more of the complex shading things, right? Now I'm over here deciding how to layer it because I completely forgot how I originally layered this. And cripes, can my leg stop hurting, please? Yeah, the usual. Let me see if I can click back. Will y'all hear my mouse? Yes. No, you won't. Yes, you will. Anyway. But yeah, who the fuck click? Do you have nothing in your... Why do you have nothing? You have 5,000 Pokemon, but you have nothing in your... Why? For what reason? Okay, well, anyway. As you can see with his makeup as well, I added a lot of bird motifs. Just caged bird, stuff like that. Birds are commonly stereotyped, especially doves, with like what the fuck are they called? Magicians, performances, stuff like that. So I really went on a bird motif whenever I did Tyrone's makeup, and I thought it'd be good, symbolism for trapped bird, and then freed bird, all stuff like that. Very basic symbolism, honestly. Yeah, what was I talking about? Goodness, I got distracted by evolving. No idea. Oh, right, shading. Yeah, I tend to just kind of slapdash the shading as I go and kind of edit it if needed when I'm doing more complex and thorough shadings like this. And then, of course, that makeup. Oh, boy. I need to get better at drawing his makeup, but it's a lot of detail that I'm personally not used to putting into my drawings. A lot of my drawings have very simple character design, stuff I can do over and over again, just because my energy levels for these types of things suck. Also, I realized I drew the nose on the wrong layer, so I'm just quickly fixing that. Why did I draw the nose in the same layer as the head? Oh, I have a Sour Patch Kid here, by the way, so if you hear me eat... Wait, no. No one gets to hear me eating on camera. Already bad enough, you can probably hear me swallow. Just no eating on camera. Anyway, hello doppelganger, why are you here? Yeah, just coloring it in, adding the little jewels in. I always love, the biggest, one of the things I love doing the most is choosing colors for characters. You know, the character design, the color design, all that. God, I forgot I did that. Again, everything's learning pains. Learning pains are fun. Anyway, so why are you rubbing your cheek against the computer? What reason? What reasoning do you have? Okay. Go ahead and loaf. Yeah, and then of course I'm just adding, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I'm just adding the strings. When he's performing, he has a bunch of strings that basically control all of his joints, all that. When he's not performing, he has a lot less strings on him, because again, he is a puppet. That is, the colors I chose, all woody colors. When I first drew him, he actually had a lot more of a wood texture. I might re-add that, but I also might not. But as you can see, that's why a lot of my character refs include dark colors and light colors along with the original colors, just for quick shading like that, since I do stuff like that. Do I recommend shading with a lighter version of the color you have? No. Don't do that. I am awful at shading. If you're going to get anything from these videos, is don't do what I do. Never do what I do. I am not a professional, and I am not good at art. And that's fine. I'm doing this for fun. But yeah. Mad Tyrone is, I remember I actually drew him when I was doing one drawing a day challenge. Back when, God, what was it? It was like this bee website that you could upload art to, and it just kind of fell downhill. Anyway. So, yeah, I drew him during that, and I just fell in love with his character design, so, I tweaked it a bit. I originally had green feathers on his, sleeves. I actually now do pastel blue with pastel pink. Gee, I wonder what flag that's representative of. So yeah, everything is very much a performance. Like, I purposely even chose non-binary colors to incorporate in his makeup, stuff like that, just to really hammer home that stuff. And there's nothing more to it. I just really wanted to draw something that was detailed, and Mad Tyrone is great for details, honestly. Oh, I wonder if y'all can hear the cat meowing very loudly. Yeah, just finishing up the details, and I think it looked good. What I use the blending tool in Sketchbook, and I turn the blending all the way down to 1%, and turn the size pretty big compared to like the length of the shading. And I just kind of go over that, and it kind of blurs it out a bit. I know there's a blurring tool, but for some reason I've always preferred the blending tool. I don't know why. Just going through and blending everything out, and I'll go back and I will, with the eraser tool, erase where it's sticking out, right? Where it's not supposed to be. Now I'm just doing a few more shading for the news, which took forever to figure out. God. Noses take forever to figure. It took me forever to figure out how I was going to shade mouths, how I was going to shade noses in this art style, because I wasn't originally a lineless art style. I originally didn't have a lineless art style. I had a lined art style. I prefer, again, the lineless for a lot of many different reasons. But darn, is it really difficult to figure out what to do, Especially when you want very minimal lines. Like, okay, technically, I could do fully lineless, but then that involves a lot of shading, a lot more clever tricks that I am not smart enough to figure out. But especially it would especially just take forever if I had to do absolutely no lines. So I try and do minimal lines instead, like quick little lines of shading or such and such. Although in a few days down the line, you'll see me do a really messy drawing. And I can do messy drawings still, even with this art style. I know some people do only lined. Sometimes we'll only do like lines, no color, and the lines can be very sketchy and messy. And I can do something similar, although it's always gonna be all color. But that was usually how my art went anyway, because I never liked how it looked lined. So I kind of just cut out the lines to begin with. Again, I do technically line my work, as you can see, to like show where the color is, although I don't always do that and just like color in the sections. So like I guess technically I do line my work, I just do it a bit more loosey-goosey than most, and I again end up with a very different effect. Yeah, even when I was doing lined art style, I would occasionally dip into lineless and really like it. So, I just always started my little interest there. I think the first lineless art piece I did was with my Bisona, and I don't think I've drawn my Bisona yet on this tablet. And funnily enough, I hate the color yellow. I hate working with the color yellow, and so many of my characters have yellow in their design. It is way too annoying, honestly. Alright, and we are, of course, just adding a little bit of finishing touches, if I recall correctly. Making certain everything looks nice. Making certain it, doesn't look too awful. Just... and you can see what's going on there. I'll actually shut up for once. Why did I think refreshing the page was going to do anything? 808 users online, and yet only one has come upon my page. Why? Why do you do this? I need to click people. Okay, well. Do you have an Eevee egg? No. Sad. Oh well. Right, we're finishing up. There we go. There's my signature. And that was basically just my drawing of Mad Tyrone. I ran out of things to say, but you know what? That's fine. I'm sure I can find new things to say later on. But yeah, I hope y'all have a lovely day. Oh, I actually got some requests from Chicken Smoothie, and I'm super happy. So I get to draw those, although you will not be seeing recordings of those, because out of my own personal interest and respect for the people who requested them, if they request for me to draw OCs of theirs, I will not be like recording it, because yeah, it's their OCs. They have their own. I would have to go through like a whole set of permissions, and I just don't want to. So no, any OC requests I get, unless they explicitly tell me yes, you can record it and upload it to your YouTube channel that only 18 people know exists, and like I'm 90% certain those 18 people have just gone to the wind and just are like, oh, this person uploaded again, ugh. So like that basically no one knows exists. Yeah, sure, go. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely night. Get some sleep. Do not stay up late like I do. Bye.